All right. Mm, yeah. So in this case, when we were using this and then we were printing, if you remember, we were just simply using the print statement to print this x, and then we used to get the natural numbers. In this case it is slightly different, so you can say me that here the work used to be done in 2 steps, here it requires 4 lines. So 1 2 3 4, but yeah, it still have advantage and disadvantages for the while loop. We'll come to that later when we do more difficult codes or something like that. Then you will know yourself only why the while loop is necessary in certain condition, because it's more flexible. Here it's easier to change every condition in a smooth way rather than in for loop where you just have a range specified. So I'll not make things complex, but this is how, so here you first give the starting point here. I will not say this is the ending point, but I'll say your defining condition. So what is your condition you define here, right? So in my case, I want numbers up to 100. So that means my defining condition is that the number should not exceed 100. So that's my defining condition. But need not be in all cases you have a your ending point is your defining condition. It need not mean, right? Condition or something like that. And then this is a print statement. And then this is your increment. Okay, so this is my structure of a for loop. This is how a for loop usually works. So now my question to you people is that, okay, so this is, I just don't want to, all right, doesn't matter. So now how do I use, so let me tell you, how do I use while loop to print the sum of first 50 integers? Yes, please, anyone.
Shastik, I have a question
Yeah.
before someone answers. So I am, can you please remind me the use of the colon in the range function in the for loop? I forgot that. Is it an explicit syntax for the range function, or is it associated with the for and the while syntax? The colon.
Oh no, so the range function, the colon is associated with the looping statement. So if you write range 10 and if I
Yeah,
run it, then it runs. So you do not need the colon statement for the range function. So
fine.
it's not a requirement for the range function. It's a requirement for the for and the while statement. So there are, if you see when I type the code in this Jupyter notebook, the things that shows up in green are basically the system defined thing. So I cannot have a variable name named for. So when you are using the for function, then your colon is a compulsory. When you are using while function, then your colon is a compulsory. If you use, later on in the class we'll come to if else statement, in those cases also colons are necessary. So these are associated with their syntax. So
So these are, so all logical statements have to be ended
in
with a colon.
colon, yes, that is correct.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So this
Yeah,
is an important thing.
yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, and
Thanks.
one more thing, if you notice here that when you are doing code in Jupyter Notebook, if you see something in green, that means it is correct. If you see something in red,
Right.
that means it is not correct. So here you can see the n is wrong. Just find
Okay.
out why it is wrong. That's the question. Anyways, so let me move forward. Yeah, so my question is that this is the question: how do I use loop to print the sum of first 50 integers? This while loop.
So,
Yeah.
if, uh, as you have written already in the previous loop in line 36, n equal to 1 starting point while n is less than 101. So, if I just put n is less than 51 and keep the rest,
Hmm.
it will do, I think.
Okay, let's see. You want to give it 51.
Yep.
No, it's not giving me. It's just giving me first 15
Um,
digits. The same problem which somebody said here, right? I
hmm.
remember somebody in the for loop also was stuck with.
Sorry, sir. Sir, actually, we have to make n equal to n plus 1 outside the loop. I'm sorry.
No, if you do outside the n is only valid inside the loop. If you do it outside the loop, it won't work.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Mm.
check here. If you put it outside, what is the thing you get? You can see you are just
No.
getting.
No. I will not get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Someone else was trying. Yeah. Anyone else wants to try?
then might be we have to use a variable sum.
Okay. We want to use a variable sum.
Sum equals 0.
Hmm. Then.
And n equal to 1. It's okay.
Hmm.
Then using the loop
Hmm.
up to 51,
Hmm.
we have to cut out the print statement out from there.
You don't want the
uh,
print statement. Okay. Hmm.
and and we have to keep n equal to n plus 1 inside the loop,
Hmm.
and outside the loop we have to sorry n equal to n plus 1, and also inside the loop sum equal to sum plus n after n into n plus 1.
Okay. You,
It's okay.
you're
You are
saying
correct, sir. You are correct.
okay.
And then outside the loop, no, sir.
Outside the
After
loop.
n equal to n plus 1, outside the loop,
Hmm.
we have to print sum. Maybe this will work.
Okay. That's correct.
Something is.
Something is
Does it
running,
not?
but it is showing star means the code is running.
Okay.
But it should not take so much of time, right? So
No,
maybe there is
no,
something
that's.
wrong.
Hmm.
Think about it.
When we are using the range function, we don't have to use the range operator just like n equal to n plus 1. That is a help over there. But
That is the help over there. You're correct. Okay, so I will give you a hint here. Okay, what is one here, by the way? Why one have you said?
oh, I'm sorry. Sum plus n.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
yeah, so it's 1247, 1275.
12. Yeah.
How much you got here in for loop?
12
1275,
7.
right? So you understood that the same code can be done using both for loop as well as while loop. But the only difference is that the while loop is all open, so you can change every syntax or statement however the way you want. For loop it's in a more compact form, so sometimes compact forms
Mm.
are necessary, sometimes it's not necessary. Depending on your case to case basis, you should be able to deal with it. Whereas I personally do not find any program which you cannot do with while loop. According to my experience, you should be able to do any program with while loop. For loop there are certain cases where you might face difficulties to write it in the compact way. Anyways, so this is, yeah,
Swastik, so two questions.
yeah,
So here I realized that the for loop, all the logical statements, the brackets, the containment is the brackets are replaced by the spacing of the comment.
yes, yes,
It is fine.
yeah.
So the spacing, I am curious whether it is just a blank or whether it has to be tab.
It has to be tapped, so we call it indentation. So
Okay.
this is a very good question. Maybe I missed it in the first part of the class. So Python was originally, the main goal of Python was to remove the brackets. That's one of the
Okay.
main fundamental idea of Python. And to achieve that, the person who developed it, his or people who later on at later stages developed it, thought of using indentation as one of the core uh, um, thing of the Python. So if I show you that if my indentation is wrong for at least one statement, you can see here. So let's say, uh, wait. if my indentation is, it's not showing here in colors, but usually shows up. So you can see the colors change to red. That means my indentation is wrong here. You can just simply know the indentation by checking the color of the line, the starting line. So you can see N is in red. I don't know if you can see, all of you, or not, but the color of the N is red here, this N which I'm showing. So that indicates that this indentation is wrong. Sometimes it can run, but usually when we are writing a long sequence of code, make sure that the indentation is correct.
In range. Okay, thanks. Another thing is just because I got curious, when in the same code where you are now, when you were saying sum is equal to sum plus 1, it should have still printed something for sum. How come it didn't print anything?
That is a good question. So first of all, why do you think no, it did not print anything? Is not, it was running, right? It did not show any error. It was running, it was showing a star, right? If you remember, it did not show any.
Maybe I missed it.
Okay, I will
Maybe.
show you once again. Okay, just
Where is the star?
okay, now it's not showing, but let's, okay, I'll give some, there were some issues, but it's still printing now. Maybe there was some,
Because now it is printing what I had expected when
yeah,
it said sum plus 1.
maybe there were some issues with the code, maybe I didn't
Okay.
realize. But yeah, usually when you see a star here, let's say,
The star will be there around in the index of the line. Okay.
yeah, I'll show one example. I think that will help you to understand. These are all small codes, so you usually don't realize.
Right.
Let's see if it helps you for this. See, you can see a star there, right? IN star.
Okay, yes.
Whenever you see a star, it means that the program is still in process. It's running, right? You got my point?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So whenever you see a star, it means the program is running. So in that case, so there could be two cases. When you see a star, one case is that your code is long or your machine has some issue, so that's why you're getting the star. The other case is that your program might have entered into an infinite loop. So starting condition is defined well, but your ending condition is not defined and it's infinity. In some mathematical cases, this problem happens and it just continues to run for infinite times. So that's why the star keeps on there. So that is another condition when you may get star. So you should be careful when you are getting star for a long time. If your code is a short code, then you should get it faster, right? So yeah, that's one of the things. Even when you buy a new machine and just run a Python, you will understand how good or bad your machine is by running code. So if your machine takes longer time, so that means this processor is not very good. So that's one of the things. Now you want to stop
Another
this?
question.
Yeah. No, you can ask. No, not issue anything. Yeah.
But I am really surprised that this is not too long a number, right? Like it is maybe 10 to the power 10.
Yeah, but it's still taking time. So
Yes. So is by any chance, from your experience, does Python take longer to do these such mathematical operations than C or Fortran does?
oh yeah, Fortran is the fastest mathematical programming language that I maybe okay. You might have missed the first class, but where I gave little introduction. So Fortran is the fastest programming languages among all because it just works with numbers. Python, I feel, is among the if there is a category of the slowest programming languages, then Python comes into the picture. Python is not very fast compared to other programming languages. The reason is that Python, people mostly use Python because of packages. You have a lot of packages and support. That's why people use Python. And for machine learning and other applications in which Python outperforms the other two languages. But in other cases, Python is not good. Anyway, so if you want to stop a code, you just press this plus button here or something like that. If you click it, it will just stop it. That's it. Yeah, but anyways, this number is quite big, so it takes time. So it's like it's looping that number of times, right? It's not just simply finding out the sum of that numbers. It's just looping it every time. So every loop time takes some amount of time, and that's why it's taking a long time. So if it was a less number, then you would have done it faster. Let's say if I will give it this one, so it will do it in seconds.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thanks.
Yeah.
58 or 5?
Yeah. So now that's what I wanted to say about while loop statements. I'll send some other problems which you should try. So the same factorial problem also you try with the while loop. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So we still have some time. So we'll be discussing the logical statement now. Well, this is just the codes, like what all things are there for loop and while loop, but you have to practice more examples. Think think examples from your side and keep practicing. I cannot show all the examples from my end, so you have to keep like thinking and practicing. I'll send some materials or assignments if possible, and you keep trying. So I'll go to logical statement. I have explained it in the first day, but still I'll go back.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, one question is there regarding this while loop. How do I use a while loop to print the sum of first 50? That is your question, but my question is just like, if there is a series of numbers, just
Mhm.
like suppose it's the chain of integers starting from 1 to up to 100,
Mhm.
but if there is any code possible, whether it can detect with up to which number the sum just overtakes 500.
Of course. So you can do one thing in this code. I'll just write it. So you are finding some here, right? Okay, so that I'll come later. So there is another keyword called break. So
Okay.
what you can do is that you check if your sum is greater than 500, then or than
Then
500, then get out of this loop.
that means breaks this statement.
So there is something called statement called break. So I'll come to that today or maybe next class. So yeah, that is possible. That's a good question. You can do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So logical statements. So the first logical statement I said before was this. So when you write x double equals to 10, that means it compares if the value of x is equals to 10, and then you put a colon. So if I run this, okay. Okay, so if it is true, then what it will do, it will print yes, x is 10. So if you do this, so let's say x is equals to 10. So yes, x is 10. Let's say now x is not 10. Let's say x is 1. Then it will not show anything. So that means this statement, if x equals to 10, if it is satisfied, then only it will enter inside this statement and will print or whatever you want, x equals to x plus 5, whatever you want to do, you can do. Then sum, but again you want to print the new value of x, those stuff you can do. As long as when a statement is in a block, it will only enter if the first condition is satisfied, then only the statements in the block will enter. So let's say x equals to 1, so it will not enter, it will just simply pass off. So now let's say x equals to 10, and then it will show you yes, x is 10, and then x equals to x plus 6, and then it will print x, and now it is 16. So now let's say if x is 10, then it will say yes, x is 10. Very good. Now let's say x is not 10, then what should I do? So for if is a compulsory statement, else is not a compulsory statement, but if you want to write else, so you write else print no, x is not 10, and then you can have a block of statement. Let's say x equals to x plus 2, and then you can print x. Now let's say x is 1. So what will happen now? Let's see. No, x is not 10 and it is 3, right? So this is how your if else statement works. So if my condition is satisfied, then you have a set of statement, and that it will enter. Else is not a compulsory, but if you want to put else, you need a compulsory if. Now this is not the whole picture. Let's say I want to add another statement in between. So x can be 5, right? So let's say x can be 5 also. So let's say no, I'll give a better example. So this is for x and y. Maybe that's correct. Now let's say I take a number, x equals to input, enter a number. Okay. Okay. The colon. Okay. Now my question is that I want to check a number is positive, negative, or zero. What should I do? Can anyone answer? You don't need any Python skill. Just tell me, I want to check a number if it is positive, negative, or zero. What should I do? Yes, please, someone. At least this is all right. I'll only answer. So if a number is greater than zero, so this is positive number. This is what we call positive number. If x is less than zero, we call it a negative number. And if x equals to zero, we call it a zero. So these are the condition to check whether a number is positive, negative, or zero. So how do I implement it using for loop or if else? So first I'll check if x double equals to no, if x is less than zero, then print the number is negative. Now if we use the statement if somebody uses Python or C or C++, then you might have used else if. The same statement we use if here is zero, then print positive. Now print else x is zero. So now let's enter a number 9. The number is positive. Let's enter a number -2. The number is negative. Let's enter a number 0. The number is 0. So you can see how by using if else statement I can check whether a number is positive or negative or 0. So this is what we call as logical if structure. So you have different logical statements at every point, and you check the criterion at every point to find out whether the condition is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, then that block of elements will be evaluated for calculation purpose. So just the last thing of the day we'll do is that nested if. So nested if or nested if else, many people call it nested if else. So what is this? Basically, nested if else is like you have a if statement. So as you see that, okay, I'll give one example. If x is less than 0, okay, then just copy here. Maybe the same problem I can do. Let's say the number is negative. Now I want to check if the number is, if x, now inside the if statement, you can have another if statement. So if x double equals to -9, then you can print yes, I got the number. Else Yeah, I have missing colons. No. See, so now this is how it works. So I have a if statement, and inside if statement I can use multiple if else statement or if else if statement. So when the structure of the if statement is like this, then you call it as a nested if else. So you have a if statement, and inside the if statement you have another if else statement. So this kind of structure is known as the nested if else statement. So that is how it basically works. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so do we have time? Yeah, I'll just take 5 more minutes. So break statement. The last is the break statement. So what does break statement does? It's like it breaks. That's what it does. So what does it breaks means? So let's say you have a let's say you have a statement. So let's say you have a looping statement. For example, let's go here. Okay, I'll show you some thing else here. Okay, the same problem. Not this, but so let's say you have sum equals to sum plus not 10, it should be n. Okay, and now inside this statement I want to check if sum is greater than 500 colon just break. So let's see 528. Oh, there's some issues with it. Yeah, so once the sum exceeds 500, so what it does here, it's that, so the minimum sum before, so once the sum exceeds the 528 number, then it breaks out of the loop and it prints the results 528. So let's say now if I give 1000, let's for example, so 1035. So this is the least sum that you can have for breaking out of the loop. Yeah. Any questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
in this case, if I want to know what is the value of n, then I have to just write print n underneath the print sum. No, no, not there.
No, you can print here, right?
Okay.
45.
Yeah.
So that means you see what is the value of 44, n equals to 44.
Yeah.
So it should give you less than 1000. That's how you can do it. So,
Hmm.
so one more assignment for you. Just try whatever I did, whatever things I taught today. You should be able to, okay, write a code to print the sum of a given set of integers less than 500. So here what I am getting is like say 1000 I am getting, so the number next to 1000 I am printing it directly, right? So my question is that it should not exceed 1000. That's the whole question. It should be less than 1000 or less than 500. Whatever be the sum, you have to print at what number you are getting and what is the sum of that. So that is uh, the assignment for you. Anybody wants to try now what should be the code or logic in that? Anyone? Any wild guess?
Sir, if I just put some,
You can call me
if
fast.
some less than
Less than
1000,
Yeah, tell. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Somebody was saying something.
sir, if I just put
Hmm.
if some less than 1000, then only it will do, I think.
Some less than 1000. No, sum will always be less than 1000 until it reaches there, right? So even in the first case when you are printing it, it is less than 1000 only. So it will break at the first condition only, right? Did you get my point?
Okay.
So when,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
sir.
so it's not going to work.
Okay.
If it was that simple, I would not have given for an assignment. Just small hint. Anyone else wants to try? Anyone else? Just give it a try. If it is wrong, I'll be happy even if you answer it. Just give a try.
Sir, less than equals.
You want less than equal. Fine. Let's see what happens.
That is a greater than equals.
You want less than equal.
Yeah.
No, it's not good. See, it
So
will always
that
be less than equals 2000, right? In the even in the second case, third case, fourth case, it will always be less than equals to 1000. Sushmita, any guess?
Which one?
Which one means this one? This question.
That why is it given giving 1 1 or the last code?
Last code. Last code. One it is
Yeah,
given because
I can do I can do it, but I don't want to because I think the others
everybody
should
should
try. No.
try. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Okay, fine. No issues.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want all of you to try it out. It's interesting uh, problem. Somebody texted me. So Rukshmini texted me that it should be less than 999. Let's see if it is less than 999 or not. It's not going to work because see, you have to understand that whatever number you are giving, right, it should not be less than. That's what I'm
The
giving the hint.
sum of a given set of
Because
integers. So
when you're printing
less.
for the first stage, second stage, third stage, it will always be less than
Yeah.
1. So it's not going to be less than. Okay, you people try. I'll be and send me the assignment. People, I can see 12 people are still there, so it's good. But 11 people actually, including me, so that's fine. But do this problem, send it to me. If you really do this problem, trust me, like it's going to help you a lot. Just give some time on this problem and send me the answer in WhatsApp or Facebook or email, anywhere you want. Just try it out. Okay.
Yeah, if I may suggest that maybe what is when you said that write a code to print the sum of a given set of integers, this
uh,
one,
uh,
I am sure most of the people who are attending, if they just sit down calmly after today's class, they will be able to write it.
yes.
Maybe it's a little jarring to do it on the fly over here.
That's okay. I'm giving time, so I still have till the next class. You still have time, all of you.
Exactly,
Keep
exactly.
trying.
So I'm sure we can try it and then send it to you, and you can like copy paste the different correct examples that you have gotten. No?
Yeah, that will be better. You can send the answer anonymously also. You don't need to, even if it is wrong, it will be with me only. So don't need to worry.
Right,
But
right.
try it out. Try it out. It will help you. Just I'm being very honest with you. All of you try it out. How can I get a given? So it should print. Let's say it should. In this case, it should print 44. And okay, I'll give the answer. I'm not solving the problem. I'm just telling the answer you should get. All right. Yeah, so you can see I got an error, unexpected indent. That means my indentation is not correct. So be careful with it. So my answer should be 946. I should get the output as 946. Don't put 44 here, okay? Because you don't know that what it is. So you have to put something large number, 1000 or something like that. I know this is at 44 you will get the output 946. That is not the skill. It should be a large number here, okay, and some statement here, and your output should be 946. That's my question. So think about it and get back to me. And I think that's all I wanted to discuss today. I think we had a fruitful session. So next
Yeah,
class we will, yeah. Yes,
I
Sushmita.
missed a why
Yeah.
9. You said write a code to print the sum of a given set of
Okay,
integers.
this was up to 1000. When you have the up to
Ah,
1000, it will be 946. When it is up to 500, then you have
yeah,
to. So, but yeah, in the code,
fine.
when you do it, make it generalized. So it should be up to a less than n, or not n, let's say m. For a given set of integers, uh, it should print up to a less than m. M you can define. It can be 500, 600. M should be user input. Okay, it need not be 500. It can be 200 also. So it should be flexible.
What? ঠিক আছে, তুমি গিয়ে খেতে বসে যাও, জামা চেঞ্জ করো।
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to discuss. So next class we will be having uh, we'll be studying functions. So that's another important aspects of Python. So we'll be doing functions and maybe a little bit of objects and class, how things works in Python, why object oriented programming language, something like that. And then we'll move to little bit advanced topic, sorting and all this stuff. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for today. Any questions? I'd love to answer.
So, actually, all the sessions you have uploaded in YouTube, it is quite helpful for us, either in recapitulating after your class
All the
also.
sessions are there in the YouTube, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
It is,
Sir,
yeah.
my question is this session is also going to be uploaded?
All the sessions are going to be uploaded. I usually upload the
Okay,
sessions
sir.
after 2 to 3 days.
Mhm.
So
Your effort is really good, sir.
no, that's thank you.
Sir.
You can call me Swastik. All of you can call me Swastik. You don't need to call me sir. So yeah, that's fine. So just my effort I'm giving good, but all of you should also try on your own to do the assignments that I give. Then I'll be really happy to help all of you. So keep practicing. I usually upload the videos and I send this document also, that IPYNB, the notebook also I usually share with everyone, so that if something is missing here, you can just try it out. So I
Sir,
think, yeah.
sir, right now I have no laptop or no that application, not such application where I can run
Run
a
a program.
uh,
So there are
right.
Python modules available for Android smartphones, and if you want to use Google, you can use
Yeah.
Google Colab. So I just have less than 1 minute time remaining. So I hope mm, you can try Google Colab. That will help you to code using Jupyter Notebook. So just open the Colab, maybe. What happened? Yeah, so you can use this Google Colab and you can use a new notebook. Once you use a new notebook, then it will, so you can do this in mobile also. I myself have tried
Yes.
this. So
Yes.
it will open up notebook or interface similar to Jupyter Notebook, so you can write the same thing here. So whatever I'm teaching you, you can do it.
Okay, sir.
But remember, it
Thank
should
you.
connect. So you just click on the connect button here. It has to connect, then only it will work. Okay. So it should
Okay.
be connecting. Give me a second. Initializing. Yeah, so now it's showing some RAM and hard disk, so it will work. Whatever is the normal, the way you code in Jupyter Notebook, it will work in the same way. Yeah, so we have less than
So
a minute. Yeah, tell.
in that case, do I have to have an account in Google Colab?
You need to have a Gmail account. That's it.
Okay, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Google Drive account should be there. That's important.
Okay, thank you.
Shostik, can
Yeah.
you go back to the Jupyter Notebook screen? Just one question which